please subscribe and don't forget to press the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload a new video.
Hi guys, welcome back. Well, as promised, we're going to discuss some numbers now. Nalco has posted a mixed bag this quarter. The alumina business has done very well, but it's the aluminum business which disappointed this time. TK Chand, the Chairman and Managing Director of Nalco, joins us now to talk about that. Mr. Chand, good morning. Before I ask you about the top line, I just wanted some clarification on the employee expenses, which have surged about 35% this time. Is it just a one-off for this quarter, or is this level of employee cost something that would sustain for the next few quarters as well?
Yeah, this is a one-time booking of expenditure because gratuity ceiling have been enhanced from 10 lakhs to 20 lakh by Amendment of Gratuity Act. So that provisioning has been made around 423 crore on account of gratuity has been booked, and also for the pay revision some booking was there. That's why it's a one-time booking. It's not a recurring booking.
Okay, Mr. Chand, now for some normal numbers. While we have your revenue numbers, we don't have your sales volume numbers. How much did you do for alumina and aluminum in the fourth quarter?
In fourth quarter, we have sold alumina 4.4 lakhs. Okay. That is 1.8 lakh more than the third quarter. And in aluminum, we have sold at the same level, that is 1.2 lakhs.
Okay. And can you tell us what is the current, the last shipment's alumina price, and what is looking like a sustainable number for this month, for the next month, June?
Yeah, alumina prices last shipment was $486. And we expect that the alumina prices will be hovering around somewhere between $435 to $480 or $485, because we found that in the tender there is a lot of competition with that number. So, and also market is little deficit it is going on, though the prices have moderated after the sentiment of market has gone down. Okay. But somewhere between 425, 430 to 480,
so now that, move. Okay, so now that you know, the two-thirds of this quarter is almost over, I mean we are at the end of May, can you tell us what may be the average we can work with for alumina shipments for this quarter, April-May June quarter?
This quarter we have planned for 10 shipments. Out of that, 6 shipments have already been done, and 4 shipments will be done in the coming month. And till now, we have got a average of $535, because in April we got an average of 616, and in May it has come down to 533. So average that we expect that it will be further moderated, but it will remain somewhere around 500.
Sure. Okay, somewhere around 500. What about volumes for FY19? What are you looking at in terms of volumes both for the alumina and the aluminum business?
We are planning to sell around 42 shipments. Okay. That will be working out to 12.6 lakh ton. And in domestic market for the small industries like paint, chemicals, refractories, etc., they depend on Nalco, so around 60 lakh ton there will be selling. And that will be working out to around 13.2 to 13.3. And metal will be selling around 4.35 lakhs.
Okay. So this 12.6 lakh tons is for both alumina and aluminum combined?
No, the 12.6 lakh is only alumina.
Only alumina.
42 shipment, 30,000 ton per shipment.
Okay. Okay, so that is for alumina, but what about for aluminum?
Aluminum will be selling total export and domestic 4.35, and out of that export will be somewhere around 80 to 90,000. Okay.
Mr. Chand, this loss in the aluminium EBIT, do you see, I mean, it's a little serious in the fourth quarter. When do you turn positive at an EBIT level?
Yeah, this loss, as you are seeing that because we get a good price in alumina, and we book alumina at market price to aluminum segment.
Sure.
That's why whenever there is a rate of increase in the alumina prices are more than the aluminum sector becomes negative. But at cost, it is positive.
All right. Okay. So for the year as a whole and consolidated alumina and aluminum, what kind of an EBIT growth can we expect? I know I'm asking you to take a very long-term view, but what might be the EBIT growth?
Yeah, last year we have a EBITDA margin of around 18%.
Yes.
And this year we are expecting a EBITDA margin of 20 to 21%, taking 13 lakh ton of sale of alumina.
Okay.
And 4.25 I have taken in a conservative way of
Sure.
10,000 more they can do, but 4.25 aluminium.
Fair.
And if the realization will be at the level of $430 for alumina,
Yeah.
and aluminium with a premium, if the average realization comes to 2200, then we'll have a turnover of somewhere around 10,200 crores. And then EBITDA will be somewhere around 2200 or 2150. So that will work out to around 20 to 21% of EBITDA.
Okay, you had indicated that you're looking to spend about 30,000 crores to expand your capacities. Just wanted to understand, what will this plan look like? What will the capacities be, and how will you fund this?
Yeah, we are now putting up, already work has started in a refinery, which is 1 million ton capacity that will take around 5,540 crores. And we have already appointed technology provider for smelter in our brownfield expansion in Angul. And there it will take around 9,000 crores, and smelter will require 1320 megawatt of power, for which power plant is getting planned in the same complex, which will take around 7,000 crores. That itself is 16,000 crores, and this is 5,000, 21,000 crore. And then we have in hand that wire rod mill, where a lot of demand is there for the wire rod in the market. So we are putting a new wire rod mill, and also some of the downstream units and CTPs, plus our caustic soda plant in Dahej, that is also in the advanced stage. So all together, it will work out to 30,000 crores. But that will come first. Some of the projects which have been put immediately, that will come in the 3 to 4 years. That will act around 15,000 crore that will require, and rest of the project 15,000 crore in the next 4 to 5 years. Because this is in line with our corporate plan, where we are aiming at that by 21-22 we should get a turnover of around 18,000 crore and a profit of around 1,600 to 1,700 crore. And in 2032, this turnover should go to 32,000 crore with a profit of 3,000 crore. In fact, all our projects which we have lined up in the next 2 to 3 years, that will bring an additional net profit of around 900 crores.
Okay, that's good to hear. Thank you very much, Mr. Chand, for joining us. One only hopes, of course, that the metal cycle continues to be on the upturn. Well, now let's shift focus to Kalpataru Power. Good set of numbers, actually, with full year revenue up 15% and fourth quarter revenue up about 27%. Margins also improving. Its strong execution is what the company has achieved. Let's get Manish Manod, the Managing Director of Kalpataru Power, on the phone line. Good morning, Manish. Thank you very much for joining us. You had said that you are looking for an FY 18-19 growth of about 15 to 20% in revenue and even better improvement in profitability. Now that the year is behind us and you have seen first 2 months of the new year, would you want to renew that guidance?
Good morning, Shiva. I think we still continue with a guidance of 15 to 20% as it's just the beginning of the year. Also, we have some challenges coming out in terms of new accounting norms of NDS 115, which will get implemented from the current year. Given all of that, we believe a 15 to 20% guidance is what we will achieve, and we will continue to target our EBITDA margins in the range of 11%, maybe slightly more than 11 and not lower than 11%.
Okay, so 15 to 20% top line and 11% margin guidance. Mr. Manod, good morning. Can you just break that down for us in terms of, the pockets, railway, T&D, manufacturing? Where do you see the strongest growth now?
Good morning. So on the strongest growth from a revenue perspective, we believe our revenue would grow much higher in railways and pipeline and not as much on transmission. We expect transmission revenue to grow at the range of 10 to 15% and railways and pipeline to grow at the range of 20 to 25%, if not higher than that. On a margins perspective, the railways and pipeline business would be in the range of 10 to 11% and transmission should be in the range of 11 to 13%. So on a consolidated basis, we should be in the range of 11% plus.
Okay. Can you tell us a little about your debt? It increased, and that is also showing in the finance cost, which has gone up in this quarter to 31 crore from 20 crore earlier. What will be the debt looking like for the better part of FY19, and how much might that increase finance costs?
So if you look at our net debt at the end of this year, we are in the range of around 700 odd crores as far as standalone KPTL is concerned.
And consolidated?
At a console level, our debt is in the range of around 3,000 odd crores. So at a standalone level, we believe that our debt should go up by around 200 crores in the year. 50% of it would be our investments in our long-term boot assets, which we already have, and around 50% would be in our core business. So with the expected growth, we expect debt levels at a standalone level to be in the range of 900 to 1,000 crores at the end of the year. As a percentage of revenue, our interest costs, we are still targeting at levels of 1.7% compared to around 1.8% in the current year.
Any non-core assets that you're looking to sell for the rest of the calendar year?
So we do not have any plans as of now, although we continue to look at a strategic investor for Shubham logistics business. We do not have anything concrete as of today. We will continue to look at the right partner for growth at Shubham.
Okay. So have you shortlisted anybody? Should we expect it in the first half of the current year?
No, we have still not shortlisted anybody. The process is on, but it's not something which would get declared soon.
All right.
Okay. Can you just finally give us an outlook on what the order book is looking like, especially in your international geographies?
So our order book as of the year end was around 12,400 crores, and we have L1, including the fresh orders declared, of around 3,000 crores. If you look at that order book, around 40% is international, 60% is domestic. We expect the incremental order book to be similar in terms of domestic and international. The domestic includes transmission, railways, and the pipeline business. So our current year order book target fresh inflow is around 9 to 10,000 crores, and we believe 40% of it should minimum come from the international business.
All right. We'll leave it at that. Manish Manoth, pleasure speaking with you. Thank you very much for joining us with those details on your fourth quarter numbers. Markets are actually going from strength to strength. This looks like a trending upward market at this point in time. After a minor dip that we saw before 10 a.m., the markets are now at the highest point of the morning. As we wind down on Bazaar, the Bank Nifty is almost looking at a 1% gain, and the Sensex and the Nifty at 2/3 of a percentage point gain. The advanced declines very strong. 3 stocks in the green for 1 in the red, and that's courtesy the mid caps, which are up 0.8%. We'll wind down on Bazaar on a positive note. Here's another excerpt from the conversation I had with Mr. P.S. Jayakumar, Managing Director and CEO of Bank of Baroda. You heard the bit about earnings. Here's more on the possible change of guard. Jayakumar's term comes to an end, I think, in October 2018. And here's what he makes of a potential change. Thanks for watching.
Let me be politically correct. Okay. Both the government, I would think, and I would think would do what is in the best interest at that point of time. But I want to tell you that one should not be delusional and in some kind of a grandeur that if one doesn't stay there, whatever is happening will fall apart. You come to a boardroom, there are so many chairman's pictures who are there. Each one of them have contributed magnificently. But at that point of time, somebody would have said, hey, what's going to happen to the firm if they are going to leave? Right? And the firm has prospered and grown further and further. So institutions have an uncanny way of growing. People who come in have an effect and influence. They stir the pot, as it were. But the real changes happen because a lot of people are committed sincerely to that effort. There is continuity with respect to the teams of general managers. There's continuity with respect to the board. So I do not want to get into this delusional framework that, you know, what happens if I don't stay for a longer period of time. If any impact, if it any, will be purely transitory in nature. But on the other hand, it's been a terrifically enjoyable experience. There's a sense for me personally of having contributed to some in a purposeful way. So whatever opportunities that exist in supporting Bank of Baroda, whether on a full-time role or any other role, is something that I'm deeply committed to.
Okay, but do you normally make succession plans, or is this?
Actually, it's interesting. You know, the governance standard in the board, and I've been talking to our chairman Ravi Venkatesan to come and speak to you on what we are doing with respect to the governance matter, is fairly robust, and there is a succession plan at all the operating levels. For everybody, we have at least one person, if not two, who is kept in mind. And the board frequently discusses succession plan, and it's all documented and discussed and reviewed. So a lot of rigor exists in various areas as far as governance is concerned, and those steps which I would think have been more pushed by the board than by me individually has helped us to plan for eventualities. And also coming from it, we have invested heavily in a training program, leadership training program, and that is also helping us in building the right kind of attitude and identifying new sets of leaders. So on the balance, I think we should be okay.